Hey, exciting times. Exciting times in Tesla, like always. Expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. The stop loss hunters had their fun, and they're having fun again. Expect the unexpected. Okay, so we are on the weekly chart here, and it's very important because what it tells us is that the dominant trend is down. We have a sell signal in the HEIKIN ASHI reverse engulfing candles in the weekly chart. Um, at the same time, we're getting a bear flag in the daily without a clean buy sell signal. But so this big candle right here, the next one, the body of it fits into the previous one. This one fits into the one to the left, followed by a red candle. And this candle is done today, and it's a red candle. And that means it's a sell signal. In order for the dominant trend in a stock to be up, you need a buy signal in the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. And we do not have that. We have a sell signal in the weekly. The daily is looking sick, and truthfully, I see signs of the monthly looking sick. Let me show you the monthly. Um, Here's the monthly. Okay, this is the first day of the month in this thing. If the body of this thing, we can go up to 454, and it's very possible that we will hit that 454 area at some point before we turn down to uh, make our new low bottom pivot point. And we are looking still, in Grandpa's opinion, for a low bottom pivot point, by the way. And I'll go through that here shortly. But yeah, we can bounce up. You can all be happy while we're up here, and you're dealing with a stock that dropped over $115 from the 488.50, $488.54 down to $173.04. Over $115, and it did it pretty fast. Um, so, you, 454 is possible. Will it go there? Grandpa don't know for sure, but it's certainly possible. I would think that would top us out, and we will turn downward if it goes there. And I'll go through the resistant points shortly. Um, but I wanted to make sure that you are aware, very aware, that the weekly, this is back to the weekly, is a sell signal. Now, on the bottom of this candle right here is 473.04, the bottom of this wick. And in Grandpa's opinion, 348, which is, if I can get my mouse to stop on 348, pretty close to where I'm at right there. That's where I believe the smart money is going to step in and start buying. Um, I listened to a live stream of a young guy. His little outfit makes millions, way smarter than Grandpa. And Grandpa's been screaming 348 is coming as a very possible new bottom pivot point um, for 3-4 days now, at least, in every live stream. I talk about it. And we're getting a healthy retracement up now, and that's all wonderful. But he did a live stream the other day, and in his live stream, he talked about between the 350 and the 340 as being an opportunity to buy Tesla stock. Okay, as a next real opportunity. I'm adjusting my price ladder because they moved me off of it. Periodically, it jumps substantially. I'll get it back on it here shortly. So I want to be over top of the price point. And there, we're back on the same page. The current price in Tesla is approximately $410.20 area, $410.20. Okay, so anyway, getting back to this guy that makes millions per year, much of it trading Tesla. He's not a winner every time, by no means, but he's got a pretty good system, way more sophisticated than Grandpa, I can tell you that. But anyway, what he went on to say was, and it made Grandpa feel good, because 338, where Grandpa keeps screaming that we're very likely going to go to, okay? Wish I could get my mouse to stop on 338. It's right about there. 338 is where the smart money is going to step in and buy. That was his opinion. How he arrived at that, I'm not quite sure. How Grandpa arrived at it, I'm not even sure of that. All I know is it's 338. And I've been saying it for so long that I can't tell you. Now, in the weekly here, we are very close to getting any. If we get a bounce on Monday, we're very likely going to have a golden cross in the weekly, which adds weight to my thoughts that we're probably going to see that 454 possibly. Now, I'm not talking necessarily on Monday. It is possible on Monday. Anything is possible with this stock. But we'll go through that more later here. But the higher the time frame, the stronger the more you're going to get out of a golden cross. But you got to keep in mind, if it hits, it looks like it would hit right about the 240 area. Right about 240 is where this golden cross will actually hit, $240. So even if we go to 440, that's $200. That's a $200 golden cross already, and the price is already up here. So it really just tells you that it's more of a pivot point downward than because we pretty much exhaust ourselves probably around 454 in Grandpa's humble opinion. Right about where? It's hard with this weekly to get it to stay on to fine tune it. I can tell you that. Right about there, 454. Okay, so Grandpa's going to get at it and go through this stuff here with you. I'll go back to the 4 hour and we will talk fair opening price. Fair opening price for Monday is $400.59. Will we hit $400.59 on Monday? Well, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too. Okay, so we had a high to low today. The range, in other words, that Tesla ran in today was $32.43. Now that's awesome. You can make money when you're trading a stock that can move 20, 30, up to $50 a day or more. That's opportunity time. All you got to do is get on the right side of it, and away you go. I'll give you an example of that in the 1 hour chart here. In the 1 hour chart, uh, right here, you see these green candles? Well, that's the 1 hour chart. Each candle is 1 hour. And we went up substantially. Everything is green. Why sell when everything is green? I don't know. Unless you sold back here while it was still red at the 395 area, or 385, I mean, area. So, overnight, let's see, what do we got going here? So, fun times in Tesla. Expect the unexpected. High today of $411.88. That's our high. Grandpa is short at 411.41.42. So low of 379.45, 379.45, and we closed at 410.44. So yeah, we had a healthy retracement. The stop loss hunters wiped everybody out going down, and a lot of people panicked down there and gave up their positions enough so that they were happy, and they turned the tide. Everybody's going short, and now they're teaching them all a lesson as they go up. It's what they do. You're playing against a supercomputer. There's no room for error. Grandpa made a huge error the other day with Grandma, and Grandma's lost confidence in Grandpa now. Um, I had a chance to get her out of her trade when it was up in the 460s, before it took the huge dive down to 373. And I got distracted. I didn't get her out of her trade. And so Grandma lost confidence in Grandpa now. So we'll have to see how that all works out. And I don't blame her. When you're in a stock that drops $115, Grandma actually sold out, and she's still up about 5,000, but she don't have any shares right now. She says she's going to buy the dip, when it goes down sometime, and I believe it will go down there for her, and we'll see how that works. But yeah, it was a quick ride. Okay, so the indexes today were up substantially up. I'm talking even the Dow was up substantially, but the S&P and the Nasdaq, they were up a chunk. But Tesla just blew them out of the water. Tesla really outperformed. Divergence volume fell today on higher prices by 15 million shares. 93 million were bought and sold, which is just slightly above Tesla's overall average of 90.5 million bought and sold per day. So yeah, it's but we fell. We fell by 15 million shares. That's why the fair opening price. I'm going to go back to the 4 hour. That's why the fair opening price of $459 is down here, uh, because we would expect a little bit of a pullback. It's why Grandpa's short right now. I'm in the green even, by George, $20. I only have a few shares, but and why? Because you can expect the unexpected with this stock. But I will tell you, in case I forget, that I don't believe that we will probably hit. It's very likely that we will hit the $400.59, but I'm leaning more towards 402 to 405 as the bottom, okay, for Monday. Uh, and trading is done at 8 o'clock tonight, and it will not resume until 8 o'clock on Sunday night. If you have EXTO, which Grandma and Grandpa have, and a few others, you will be able to trade at starting at 8 o'clock Sunday night. If not, you will be able to trade on Monday morning at 7 a.m. So dominant trend I covered, it's down. Divergence we covered. Pivot point. Our previous low pivot point is 302.70. Okay, way back. And we have potential of 373.04, our current low, since we made our top pivot point. And since we made our top pivot point at the 488.54, at $488.54, we made our top pivot point. And so we are currently searching for a new bottom pivot point. The dominant trend is down. And what is the stock doing? Well, it's going up, of course, while the dominant trend is down, and we're looking for a new bottom pivot point. Grandpa does not believe that 373.04 is our bottom pivot point. Could Grandpa be wrong? Absolutely, Grandpa could be wrong. Is Grandpa wrong? You tell me. I don't know. I don't think so. I think our bottom pivot point is going to be right around the 348 to 350 area. That's where I believe we're going to actually make a new bottom pivot point. And we can go up and down and all around until it goes there. But I don't believe we're going to go to $1,000 in this stock until we make that new bottom pivot point. And once we make it, then you can look for the 600s, the 700s, and so on. Okay? And the 500s or whatever. Okay? And the 1,000 and the 10,000. But until we make that low bottom pivot point, and the reason that I'll tell you why. Why does Grandpa think 348? Well, let's look at volume. Today we had 93 million volume. The day before, we had 108 million. Okay? The day before was 76. The day before was 63. The day before was 82. The day before was 75. And the day before was 59. These are million shares. Okay? Bought and sold. When the price was up at 488, we had 129 volume. We had high volume, and we had high volume for a while, and what happens? The price plummets. Okay? This opposite is true. Take, for instance, back when the price was 302, or back when the price was 212 and everybody was scared to death that it was going to drop to the basement, except Grandpa, because the volume was running day after day at 50 million, 40 million, 50 million. So I think we even went into the 30 millions at one point on some of them points. And so you have 212 or 302, and once we start stagnating in that low volume for a few days, sometimes 2 days, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, but once she gets in that area, and we have not seen it yet, we're not that far away from it, okay? And are we going to goof around and go up to 454 and back and forth? But when you finally get to see it, that will tell you where your bottom pivot point is. Just like the 212 was the bottom pivot point, and prior to it, it went 50 million, 50 million, 50 million, 50 million shares bought and sold, low volume, 40 million, then a 70 million, and then a 204 million, and we jumped $50 in a day. And the next day we went another $15. The exact same thing happened at 302.70. 50 million, 50 million, 50 million area. And what happened? 488 happened from 302. 488. That's what happened. And now we're going to go, and we're going to go somewhere around the 348 in Grandpa's opinion. I could be off by $10. It don't matter. I'll know it when I see the 50 millions come. It could be 360. It could be whatever. But we did not get the 50 million, 50 million, 50 million at $373. We did not get that. We got, I'll read the volumes again. Today is 93. The day before is 108. The day before is 76. The day before is 63. We got some low volume, but it was not the volume that we're looking for. The volume that you are looking for, so that you know what's going on, where that bottom is actually at. The volume will tell us in advance where our low bottom pivot point is going to be. I cannot tell you how important it is for you to understand this and to see it. You can pull up a NASDAQ chart of previous volumes in Tesla, and you can go back in time and pick out the bottom pivot points, and you will see that the volume in that area preceding the bounce up is in the 50 million range, okay? All the time, every time, without fail. It's the biggest tell that Grandpa's got right now. It's better. I like it better than my blinking, by far. Upside resistance. You got a little bit of resistance at 412. We just about hit it. We have resistance to the top side at $421.70. We have resistance at 433. The 420.170 on Monday and the 433 are absolute possibilities. Grandpa would look at it as a place to possibly sell a few shares and anticipating a dip down. 454 If you're lucky enough to see that number, and it's a very real possibility, if not Monday, Tuesday, that you will see it. And Grandpa will short that number all day long. I'm looking forward to doing it. And because the dominant trend is down, why would Grandpa do that? Well, the same reason I'm short right now. And I'm not planning on making a big chunk of money on this short. I'll take $5 and I'll take my little bit of profit. She goes down to 405, I'm out. I'll take my profit, and then I'll wait for it to go to 421 and I'll short again. And then I'll wait for it to go to 433 and so on, and 454. I want it to go to 454 because at 454 I can make $100 going down. That's why. Downside support 403. Okay, 403. Actually, 403, 405. I really don't think we're going to see our next place of support of $400.59. I'll be very surprised if we see that on Monday. Will we see it next week? Very likely, but I just don't think we're going to probably see it on Monday. 393, okay, down below that. 389, 373. Grandpa's doing something here. 373. And down below that we have support at 368, and of course the 350, 348. 348 is where Grandpa, that's where the smart money are going to buy. Grandpa's telling you in advance, in my opinion, this is my opinion, until I actually see the few days, day after day, of 50 million volume, that's when we're going to really know. Grandpa could be wrong about 348. It's possible. Okay? Anything is possible in this stock. Excuse me. But the volume will tell you. The volume will tell you. You got to have patience in this game. You might wait for 3-4 days with 50 million volume, scared to death that it's going to drop more. Okay? But when we see a few days of 50 million volume, Grandpa's going to start buying like a mad hatter because the thing is going to fly to the moon. And the moon's at 10,000. And Mars is at 100,000. And if you sell your Tesla shares, don't blame Grandpa. If you sell your Tesla shares for 50,000 apiece, don't blame Grandpa if a year later they're 100,000. If you're selling your Tesla shares, you're crazy. That's my long-term opinion. Okay? So, once again, today's fair opening price was $381.68. That was our fair opening price today. And we hit it. We hit that puppy. We ran $32.43. We hit that number several times this morning. Mondays is $400.59. I think we're going to have a hard time getting to it. I think somewhere in that 402 to 405 might bottom you out on Monday. But the dominant trend is down. Grandpa will be a winner on this trade no matter what, because I will wait. And I'll just short more as it goes up if I have to. So expect the unexpected. $115 drop from 488 to 373. Wow. Hey, like, share, and subscribe if you would. Don't take anything Grandpa says as financial advice. Grandpa's not a financial planner. And always remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy Grandpa. Yeah, I watch a lot of these live streams on some of these other guys, and it just tickles Grandpa when one of them that makes millions per year is singing the 338 and saying straight out, that's where the smart money is going to buy. And you want to know who's going to sell there? You want to know who's going to give up their shares? 97% of the retail traders, that's who. They're going to be scared. The stop-loss hunters are going to take them out. They're going to take them out, and they might even dip it down to 335 before they turn it up. It's possible. And they're going to take out those stop losses, and they're going to wipe them out. They're going to wipe out 97%. That's what they do. 97% of retail traders, they get scared and they give it up. Yep. Yeah, Grandma stopped buying the dip. She sold down at the dip. Still in a profit. She wanted to make sure she kept her profit. I think she sold right around 385. Gee, that's $25 less than where we're at right now. But, you know, I don't blame Grandma for losing faith in Grandpa. It's pretty hard to have faith in somebody when you have a 455 average and the price is dropped $115. I didn't get her out of that one trade, and that was the whole problem. It wasn't Grandma's fault, it was Grandpa's fault. But that's the way it is. But Grandma will recover, and she's patiently waiting for her dip. She's in no rush to do nothing. Here's my average spot right here at 411.45. Just so barely in the green. And like I say, I'm just doing this to pick up $4 or $5, and then I'll patiently wait. I won't go long until I see volume that's 50 million, 50 million, 50 million. I won't buy any shares. I will only go short. You got to be crazy to short this stock. You got to be absolutely crazy. If you short Tesla, you're crazy. Grandpa will only go short because the dominant trend is down. But I'll do it at strong pivot points, and we're at one right now. I managed to get this one within 40 cents of the top so far. But on Monday, I'm anticipating the 420s, 430s. Sometime this week, very likely, I'm anticipating the 450 range. But the dominant trend will still be down, and we will still be searching for a new bottom pivot point in Grandpa's opinion. And I've made my case as to why. We have not seen 50 million, 50 million, 50 million, 50 million volume. And until you do, you haven't reached your bottom pivot point. That's the way it is. It's just the way it is. We will see. We will see. Grandpa's very opinionated. Yep. Very opinionated. Grandma said she's going to make Grandpa pork chops. I better go get them. Well, yeah, she also mentioned I need to go get them out of the freezer. Hey, I hope this was helpful. Maybe we'll do one over the weekend. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. Think about eternity once in a while. That's the main thing Grandpa does. Sounds like this guy that blew up that Cybertruck in front of the uh, Trump deal in Las Vegas. He was a Trump supporter. He loved Trump. I think he loved Elon too. He was driving a Cybertruck. And it showed off the ability of Cybertruck. I think he had just had enough of the world and he gave up the way it seems. He killed himself before he blew it up. And he had the abilities and the training. I believe he was a Green Beret even, and he was still in the service. I think he just had family problems and had just lost hope in the world. Really sad. And he wasn't out to hurt others. The way he did it, he had the ability to blow that whole building up if he wanted to. He had the smarts to do it, but he didn't. He just went out in a blaze of glory, and he drew a lot of attention to the Cybertruck. I'll tell you that. Even the law enforcement guys were really impressed with that Cybertruck. And he's in eternity now. Yeah, think about eternity once in a while. Grandpa does.